The unicorn has captivated people around the world for thousands of years, and it is still popular today. In this video you will see lots of different unicorns in art history, and this work from 1602 by Domenichino is pretty representative of the typical look of a unicorn. The size and looks of a small horse or goat, often white, with a goat's beard coming from its chin and a single horn on the middle of its head. Unicorns often appear in wooded areas and have a special connection with virgins. Since the 4th century BC, unicorns have captivated many people. Do they really exist or not? Why are they so magical? What is their secret? And how should we interpret the presence of a unicorn in artworks? Due to the many stories and myths about unicorns across cultures, the unicorn has appeared in many different shapes and sizes, something that has appealed to some of the best artists ever. For example, Hieronymus Bosch loved to include some bizarre creatures, and if you scan his most famous painting, The Garden of Earthly Delights, you can identify several animals with a single horn, like this one in the water, unsure whether he identified them as a unicorn or not. The first description of a unicorn comes from 2400 years ago, when the influential Greek doctor and historian Theseus wrote about the presence of a unicorn-like animal in India. And I cite, "There are in India certain wild asses, which are as large as horses and even larger. Their bodies are white, their heads dark red, and their eyes dark blue. They have a horn in the middle of the forehead that is 1.5 feet in length. The base of this horn is pure white. The upper part is sharp and of a vivid crimson, and the middle portion is black. Those who drink from these horns, made into drinking vessels, are not subject, they say, either to convulsions or to the falling sickness. Indeed, they are immune even to poisons, if either before or after swallowing such, they drink wine, water, or anything else from these beakers. This animal is exceedingly swift and powerful, so that no creature, neither horse nor any other, can overtake it. There is no other way to capture them in the hunt than this. When they conduct their young to pasture, if they are surrounded by many horsemen, they refuse to flee, thus forsaking their offspring. They fight with thrust of horn, they kick, bite and strike with wounding force both horses and hunters. But they perish under the blows of arrows and javelins, for they cannot be taken alive. The flesh of this animal is so bitter that it is not edible. It is hunted for its horn and its ankle bone." Over the next centuries, the belief in the existence of the unicorn grew steadily, as famous people like Aristotle repeated the unicorn story. Julius Caesar also wrote about the existence of the unicorn who lived in the German forests. And in the 1st century AD, Pliny the Elder was the first to call this animal a monoceros, which was later translated into unicorn. In the next centuries, the word unicorn even appeared in some translations of the Bible. Until the late Middle Ages, people believed that the unicorn really existed, and some people still do so today. The way the unicorn is generally described is an animal that is ferocious, fast, and nearly impossible to capture. The horn, also known as an alicorn, was believed to have magical abilities. It could protect people from evil spirits, purify water, neutralize poisons, and cure many diseases. And just their presence in an area was believed to spur life and vitality to its surroundings. The first mention of the unicorn by Theseus lived in India and was probably based on the rhinoceros, as in India the rhino's horn was considered to have healing properties, and it was sometimes used as a drinking vessel decorated with 3 bands of color. Over time, the unicorn was included in various folklore and myths, and its magic was expanded. And while people had not seen the unicorn, they believed for a long time in them, just like they did in dragons and some other imaginary animals. It didn't help for the truth that in the medieval bestiaries, which are basically natural history books describing various animals, no distinction was made between real and imaginary animals. And even though people started to realize during the 15th and 16th centuries that the unicorn was probably a myth, its presence in art still continued. Just as a simple example, in this painting from around 1700, the pair of white unicorns in the distance are among all the other animals that will enter the Ark of Noah to be saved from the great flood. The presence of the unicorn in art, and especially its horn, has various symbolic associations over time, ranging from innocence and chivalry to purity and chastity. Lady with Unicorn, painted around 1506 by Raphael, is one of the better known works containing a unicorn, and the animal here is a symbol of chastity. Around 1450, the Italian artist Francesco Pescellino painted this scene entitled The Triumphs of Love, Chastity and Death, based on a similar named poem by the 14th century poet Petrarch. The cart of love is pulled by 4 white horses, the cart of death by 2 black bulls, and the cart of chastity shows 2 unicorns in front of it. And here's another 15th century painting based on the same story by Petrarch, showing once again the cart of the figure of chastity drawn by 2 unicorns. And on either side of the painting you can see a swan, another symbol of chastity. Petrarch describes the victory of the allegorical figure of chastity and connects a chaste life, meaning in his case that a woman abstains from either extramarital or all sexual activities, with some chaste characters from history and mythology, including Penelope, the wife of Odysseus, the Roman noblewoman Lucretia, and Dido, the founder and queen of Carthage. The painting by Francesco di Giorgio Martini was a wedding painting reminding the bride to honor the vows of her marriage. And you can see how Cupid, representing sexual desire, is walking in front of the procession with his hands bound behind his back and with a threatening unicorn behind him, having his horn down to ensure that the bride will not engage in Cupid's sexual schemes. Going back in time, the ability of the unicorn's horn to purify water and cure diseases made the unicorn a symbol of purity. During the Middle Ages, the horn of a unicorn sold for a lot of money because of their supposed magical abilities. In reality, people sold narwhal tusks, a whale with a single horn on its head. And when the unicorn myths were combined with religious stories, the connection was made between the purity of the Virgin Mary and the purity of the unicorn. Remember that the unicorn was originally impossible to capture. Well, there came an exception, and that was that it could be tamed by pure people, not only Mary, but also other virgins. So the combination of a unicorn sitting in a lap or tamed by a virtuous virgin became pretty common. They connected with each other because of their purity. So far, I have not spoken about the famous unicorn tapestries, one series which resides in New York and the other one in France. That will be the topic of next week's video, when we explore in more depth how the unicorn was considered during the Middle Ages and early Renaissance. For now, I hope you enjoyed this introduction of unicorns in art, and after my recent stories about angels in art, I want to thank several viewers for their suggestions on what other otherworldly or imaginary creatures they would like to learn more about. Just leave a comment with your suggestions below this video, or contact me directly through my YouTube profile or my Instagram account, which is @tripimprover, and I have a link to my account in the description below this video. I love the interaction between all of us in this art community, and it inspires me to explore new topics for future videos. Thanks for watching.